Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your Sunday's Talking Town. A beautiful Sunday it is as well. The sun is shining, the birds are singing. You could almost sing Don't Worry About Every Little Thing, which of course was the anniversary of yesterday where Town got relegated 5 years ago. Time flies when you're having fun and sitting top of the championship 5 years later. Who would have predicted that 5 years ago? Probably not me, probably not the two people joining me. I wonder if anyone in the chat would have predicted that. As always, hit the like, subscribe, and if you're watching on catch up, where you been? Hope you enjoyed the weather. FTA, comment for the algorithm. Let YouTube know you're loving this presentation of Talking Town. As we discuss, well, I'm going to say a bizarre day yesterday, where we finished top of the table, but you're still not quite sure if you're happy or really disappointed. Quite bizarre. How are you feeling on a Sunday afternoon at 1:33, or a Monday night, or a Tuesday morning, or whenever you happen to be watching this? Phil Blundell has been in my Facebook Messenger. He's been doing the math. He's been crunching the math like Carol Vorderman. He says, right-ho, I've done some math, remain the fixtures, and I dare say it looks positive for Town. Phil, share the math. As countdown, share the workings out. Share how you get to the magic figure of promotion. Let us all know about that positivity. Arthur says such a measured response from the manager. Did you expect anything else? Let's be fair. Not easy to follow given the natural expectation. I'm not going to talk today, boys and girls, because I have lost a tooth and my mouth is still struggling to adjust. So do bear with me this afternoon of the fan base. But it is. I'm not going to bother. Sorry, Arthur. Great comment, but I just can't get my mouth around it. Afternoon, says Darren. I'll take that point at the break. Regroup, onwards and upwards. Let's do this. As always, we are partnered with two wonderful companies. First of all, Match Bingo. Play Match Bingo, win cash prizes. 2024. I'm sure we all know how to do this. But how you play is on your screen right now. If you're listening on our audio platforms, welcome. Leave that 5-star review. It's all important. And how you download it is by registering online, then downloading the Match Bingo app onto your mobile phone or tablet or device, whatever you've got. Choose your matches and then play during the most exciting football fixtures. And it says here, including the thrilling East Anglian derby. I'm not quite sure it was thrilling. Win, lose or draw. It was never thrilling. It was rather... We'll leave it in the past. Martin. Leave it in the past. So download the app. £2 a bingo card. Free bingos available. And as you play, you are, of course, which is the most important thing here, not winning cash prizes like Sean, who's currently probably on a beach in Barbados off the proceeds. But it is important that we are supporting the crucial work of the East Anglian Air Ambulance. Every game, it says here, helps to save lives and provide vital medical care to those in need. Over 18s only. Please be gamble aware. Match Bingo. I'll mention the second one, as we naturally do on a Sunday when somebody mentions it in the chat or when somebody needs an injury looking at, etc. Member for 22 months, a strange atmosphere after the game. You would never have known. This is what I'm saying. Bizarre. We'd never have known. We're just gone top of the championship. I know. Absolutely bizarre. Talking of bizarre, I'm joined by two wonderful, wonderful people, but they are a little bit bizarre. It is, of course, Matthew Phillips and Richard Cruncher Moss. Welcome in. Vaztastic is Richard's name today. He changed his name on the regular. Vaztastic, Rich.
What a man. We'll come to it. Great hair.
Great hair.
Great hair, but great saves. And they could be massive in the shake-up right at the end of the season, boys. So we'll come to that. But yeah, look, he's weird, isn't it? I've had to give myself a bit of a talking to, Matt, this morning, because I was a bit down in the dumps thinking, we took a point against Middlesbrough. But then, like you say, you look at the league table, you look at 5 years ago, we were cheering the players off. They just got relegated and we're all singing this man's wonderful song. Bob Marley, by the way, Matt. Bob Marley.
Yeah, Bob Marley. We made more noise that day than we did yesterday. We made more noise getting relegated than you did going top of the league. I didn't get it, but...
Maybe the secret is buying fans' pints. McKenna, get the wallet out. Come on. Maybe that's the secret. Yeah, the success we have is not good enough, clearly. The good times, the goals, the moments, the memories, it's all about the pints. But it's all about that, actually, because obviously in the fan zone yesterday before the game, it was a fairly large crowd, must have been by the roar, in Town. I was sat in my car watching the Leeds game on Sky Go. When they scored,
let's rewind to about 5 minutes earlier when Martin dropped the WhatsApp. It's only a matter of time for Leeds score here, boys.
I like tempting Mother Fate. I'm like, come on, here we go. Let's drop it. It was a great goal, by the way, by Semi.
Yeah, great finish.
great finish part of the league. But there was a huge roar, like Town had been promoted in that moment, Rich. It was a big roar.
I was driving in.
Moment, go on.
Yeah, I was driving in. I was by Hintlesham Mall and I nearly crashed a car because we were going absolutely ballistic. People coming towards us must have thought, what the hell is he doing? I mean, and then you got in the ground and you could feel it was so different than the other night, the atmosphere, because it was a little bit edgy the other night. Whereas you come in the ground there and probably 20 minutes before kickoff, Matt, it was like a real celebratory party mood. And you thought, here we go.
Well, this is what happens, doesn't it? Suddenly expectations were risen, you know. And unfortunately, reality turned up and bit us all on the arse. But I mean, this is what happens, right? What did John Lennon say? Life's what happens to you when you're busy making other plans. We already had plans to be 4 points clear. It just didn't materialise, unfortunately.
It didn't, and it was a great opportunity. I said in our WhatsApp group, if we win today, we had fingertips on the Premier League door handle. It really felt like a huge moment.
That was really good. I like that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And Ben Adams messaged me saying it's fate. This feels like a huge fate moment, and it did for a minute. And then, as you say, reality sort of hit. And if Sarmiento shot, which is the first sort of flashpoint I think in the game, that post, can we shave it? Can we get somebody out there to shave that post? Because it's
like the post. Do you remember the post at the North Stand end, Matt, when we used to keep
Sedgley
hitting that? And I think did they get someone into sort of some voodoo? I think they did back in the day.
Yeah, a bit of holy water.
It was like the door was wide open yesterday for Town, and it was like we crashed in like someone fucking pissed at 2:30 in the morning and got head first through the door, didn't we? We tripped over the doorstep. Instead of walking nice and gently through, we've fucking gone arse over tit straight through the door.
As is everyone else around us.
Yeah, definitely.
The pressure is biting. Let's be honest, and let's be honest. Leeds and Leicester have on paper better squads than Ipswich Town Football Club, so it's really showing that the pressure part of the season is biting. Southampton now are suddenly the doors open for them to suddenly come and rejoin the party, having been chucked out by Town only 10 days ago.
Right? Which is good news. They play both Leicester and Leeds.
It's great news. It's great. And they'll have to win regardless in the sense of they want to take momentum into the playoffs. Wherever they finish, they'll want to finish with that momentum because the team that finishes third normally is flat as a pancake. That's why they more
Is that a myth,
often.
Is that a myth, though?
Is it a myth? I don't think it is.
Luton were third last season.
Yeah, but I think whoever comes third this season, I was thinking to myself this morning, you're going to have such a massive come down, Matt, because you could you could literally miss out. The way it's going at the minute, you'd literally miss out on the last kick of a ball because that's the way it's going to probably pan out. You know, something's going to happen. Then you have to raise yourself again mentally. If it's Town, we're all thinking it's Norwich. You can sense your mindset already. I know we're looking 3 weeks ahead when we're going to be sitting here Sunday the 5th of May, hoping everybody that we're all having a massive party and we're celebrating. Well, I really hope we are because if not, I think it's going to be really, really tricky for the lads to raise themselves. But look, there's so much football to be played before then anyway.
And last day. Is he going last day? It's Huddersfield.
It's got to go last day now. Surely it's written in the stars, isn't it?
Sky Sports are literally licking their lips, rubbing their hands together.
At least we're picking up points. They're losing and not even scoring.
Yeah. Absolutely, and like I say, the pressure is sort of biting all three teams. You know, Southampton are looking to gate crash it.
So whoever breaks out, I said to AD Croucher the other day, whoever breaks out of that kind of pressure cycle, it's going to take a set piece, a free kick, a penalty or something that's going to blow the top off. Hopefully it's going to be us.
Which leads to the question, do you feel playing second is going to benefit Town or hurt Town? Because sometimes it's easier to be the pace setter, set the marker for you for the other teams to try and raise themselves as opposed to knowing what you need to do. Because they'll say, Rich, they don't know, but there's no way they couldn't have not known Leeds have scored.
No. But then if you look ahead to when Town next play against Hull, Matt, Southampton will have played 4 more games. Southampton could have another 12 points and they could be sitting on 93 points. They honestly could, but they'd have to beat obviously Leicester. And you look at, I've looked at their fixtures. Preston at home, Tuesday night, victory. Saturday, Cardiff away, victory. Then Leicester, then Stoke at home. And if I'm looking now, I'm thinking they're picking up at least 9 points from them. And then the Leicester game, who knows? And you probably want them in there, still sort of sniffing around, going into that last day. Look, it could be a case of mine that all 4 teams on that last day of the season could go up. It could fluctuate. You're going to be looking at your phones if you can get a bloody connection in the stadium, maybe. But it's the pressure on Town. It might be a little bit different come 2 weeks last night, Matt, because we won't have played at all. Whereas I think Leeds will have played 2 games, Leicester will have played another 2 games, I think. And they play on the Monday. So
the break is
depends,
good,
doesn't it? But the pressure's definitely. I'd say the pressure's on Leeds, Matt. Now, when you look at the 2 away games they have now, and they're 2 points behind Town, and they've got to go to Borough next Monday, and then they play QPR away on the Friday night. For me, 4 points normally be a good return. Not good enough for Leeds. They've got to probably win both of them games, and then if they were 4 points ahead of Town would have 2 games in hand. I think the pressure would be really on us then, because you'd know you'd have to win both of them. Probably both of them away. Look, we don't know what happens with Leicester. Leicester might lose another 2 or 3. So.
They're cracking. They're cracking like a homemade crumble in the oven. They're yeah. Let's be honest. You posted the crumble, so I bring up that analogy because they are cracking.
10 points from 10 games, Martin.
You've got a manager complaining about a fixture schedule, which is never good. I always feel like the outward voice sort of resembles the inward voice with football. And if there's a little sort of discontent there in the sense of they're feeling that pressure, Matt, which is great for Town.
In terms of Leicester City, you're talking here.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, look, everyone's chipped away at that lead they had. I remember at Christmas time, Rich, if you wanted to put money on them winning the title, you had to put 10 quid down just to win £1. Do you know what I mean? So I mean, look how far they've fallen.
That's 78 points, Matt, after what? 30? Was it 34 games? No, 32 games.
Was it 10 points from 10 games? You said
they've took 10 points from the last 10.
Dreadful.
Six defeats in there.
So why anyone would be looking at their next run of fixtures and think, oh, well, bloody hell, they're going to win 4 on the trot or whatever. I mean,
but then you never know with football, do you? Because we all think that they got West Brom and then they got Leicester and then I think they got Preston. They're 3 hard games, but the way football goes, they could win them 3 games. They're good enough. They've got good enough players. Good. I think we all know that, and they're out of form at the minute. But like you said, it only takes in football something to flick that switch. Sometimes you might get a bit of luck or something. I think, and then you're off and rolling.
I think you were right the other night when you said we look tired, mentally and physically, when we were chatting with Ben. So I think this little break is coming up perfect for us. We can try and get people back fit, try and get more back fit. Who knows? Burns or Hurst might suddenly be back to start for the bench. Who knows what the next fortnight's going to bring? But I think certainly while they're playing games, we've got our feet up for a week or so, which I think
we're recharging, aren't we? Yeah. And there is expectation that Hurst and Burns possibly both will be back in some capacity. With obviously Hurst 10 minutes off the bench, 20 minutes off the bench if we're fortunate with him. Burns a little bit more, but we are missing both, particularly Wes Burns and Jeremy Sarmiento started for the feels like the first time in his Town career. I know it's not, but it feels like the first time in a long time. How did you see his performance yesterday, Rich? Because he hit the post, came close.
I thought he was excellent. I thought he played really well. I like it because not just we said this on him before. Him and Amari, they're really good going forward. But look at the work that they do going back the other way, getting stuck in tackles. That one. I mean, now it was just after the equaliser, wasn't it? And it's literally he's only got a split second to get a toe on it because the Dieng's coming to close him down. If he has just another split second, he can take a touch. I think he scores there, Martin, because he just rolls it in the net. But he's just like stretching, isn't he? And then it just bounces off the post. Yeah, I thought he had a really good game. Personally, I wouldn't have took him off. I was quite surprised when he went off. I said on the show on Friday, Matt, I thought there was no need yesterday. I don't want to moan, but I think sometimes we've said it before. These subs seemed a bit pre-planned for me. Whereas I think yesterday, Martin, you've got no game for 2 weeks. If you can give him another 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you've got no game in the week. They can go and have a rest. Have a couple of days off, boys. Give it another 15 minutes. He was playing well enough. He'd just got the lad booked. I think he'd skinned him and he chopped him down. And I thought he was playing really well. And I thought yesterday, we've been really good with the subs this season. I don't think they helped us at all yesterday. I honestly don't think. I think they made us play worse.
But Matt, subs didn't help us yesterday. They made us play worse.
I would have put my mortgage on Chaplin coming off from at first.
100%.
He didn't have a great game. I love Connor. He's probably my favourite. Yeah, he didn't have a good game yesterday. That said, he did put the ball through for Sarmiento to hit the post.
Yeah.
I mean, so there was moments of decent play from him. But yeah, he did have a poor game yesterday. But then, who would have gone into the 10 role? I mean, look, in the end, we saw Taylor there. Eventually, we've talked about it all season. Bleed now, there he was for about 5 minutes, wasn't it, Rich? But I think you'd have had to have moved Hutchinson into the middle. And look, he was he got man of the match from nearly everybody. He got it in the stadium. He was having so much impact on the right.
You could have put Sammy in there. You
could have swapped the wing over.
You could have put You could have dropped Broadhead in there. He could have played in there.
Yeah, good points.
You had a harness. You had a harness off the bench who's played in there probably more than any of them three.
You don't take Chaplin off. You don't take. But
he was having a really poor game, Martin. That was as poor as I've seen Connor Chaplin play for a long while. And I think, look, effort, no question about it. Trying his art out. I think personally, Matt, I think he's trying too hard.
Maybe.
You know, he needs a goal. He wants a goal. He's trying too hard. And there was times there yesterday when he was doing everything in a rush for me. And then balls, the lovely ball he played for Sarmiento, great ball. He played another one. He played the ball that Amari picked up in the second half, Martin, over by you when he went on that driving run right the way through. That was a lovely pass. But too many times yesterday, them passes that he does, they weren't coming off. And I thought, I think sometimes we all love Connor Chaplin, but I think in that game, and I know what Martin's going to say, because he probably thinks that Chaplin's going to give you a goal, you know, even if he's not playing really well. But I think yesterday, I thought it was harsh on Sarmiento because I thought he was having a good game. And I thought Ali was having a good game up front because I thought he done really well.
He was puffing a bit, though. He was puffing a bit.
That was his first start, Matt. This is a guy who's been playing in League Two
with injury.
I thought he was excellent yesterday. I thought he was really, really good, and you can see in that short space of time already, he's improved already from what we've seen. And I think he's only going to continue to get better. But I thought sub-wise. It's not always going to work. We've been really fortunate. What was it, 23 goals we've scored off the bench?
Phenomenal.
So it was just one of them days where it didn't work. But Sarmiento had a good game. That one goes in, Martin. It's the post. I think we win the game. I honestly do, because we had all that momentum then. The crowd was up. We get that second goal. Then you never know, we might get another one before half time, Matt, because we were really, really on the front foot there.
Absolutely, we've been really. Look, the last two games have been really good in the first half in terms of creating chances and things. Just hasn't yielded the win, has it? Unfortunately, but so Martin, you would have kept Connor on. You just think even though he's like below par, below average, you think a moment of magic can turn it.
This is the thing, isn't it? Because with a player like Connor Chaplin, and I'm nowhere near the level, obviously, of manager Kieran McKenna is, but as a manager previously, his body of work tells me in a magic moment, I know what I'm going to get from Connor. Like I expect, he's a magic player that at any moment falls in the 6-yard box. Who is the man you want? And normally, perhaps not recently, but normally on the end of it, he's got 13 goals this year. He's one of our top goal scorers. It's very much like not starting Darryl Murphy at Leeds under Mick McCarthy. For me, Connor Chaplin, as long as he's got 60% fitness, he starts because he's top goal scorer and he's a magic player that just needs that one half of chance. Hasn't happened for him recently.
The little touches were off, though, weren't they? Like when he tried the chip, like in the first half, when Dieng was off his line, and it just went like a golf shot, wasn't it? It skewed off into Churchman. Yeah,
he did. Yeah, and he had a moment at Norwich where, you know, again, 18-yard box, you expect him to hit the target and didn't. And I do think Rich is right. I do think you can see it by his body language almost. He's trying to put his whole team on his back to drag us to the promised land.
Probably getting frustrated with himself as well, isn't he, Mark?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just have this break and then come back and be and just let it happen. Let the game, as they say, let the game come to you. Don't try and make it happen.
You can't fault his effort, can you? I mean, look, he just embodies everything we were going through as well. Yeah, I think you're right, Rich. He probably was trying to. He wants it so badly for himself, for his career, for his teammates, for the fans, everyone. Do you know what I mean? But sometimes I just think you've got to bite the bullet and go, all right, Connor, look, you've done your best, bring him up. But look, hindsight, innit?
Well, this is it. And as a manager, and obviously I'm not Kieran McKenna, I don't know his thinking, but as a manager, it's always trust, isn't it? That's what we always talk about, the trust of a player, and particularly Mick McCarthy previously. If he trusted the player, he was normally 9 times out of 10 on the team sheet, and you would trust that goal threat, particularly Carrick and Borough. They've got to account for it. They've got to think about where he is at all times.
Because it's ironic you say that. I think there was a little, after that second substitution, when Chaplin had gone off, Matt, Davis pulled the ball back from down near where you sit, right onto the edge of the box. Who did you want on the end of it?
Yeah.
Connor Chaplin, he weren't there.
Connor Chaplin. No,
Yeah,
exactly.
so-
That's the thing, isn't it? And you've got to weigh it up as a manager, and normally McKenna gets it spot on. And yesterday, the sub perhaps weren't the greatest. And about effort, Amari Hutchinson yesterday particularly, I thought was playing like a player who'd been told, if Town get promoted, you're staying here, son, because he was everywhere. He was chasing 30 yards back to try and help out Axel Twenzabi. He was sitting in the first half, but also in the second half when he had a few times that fullback on toast. I thought he was brilliant yesterday. Not perhaps my man of the match, Matt, but a really good performance.
Yeah, like you say, I think he got man of the match just because he was.
They want to meet him.
he was like the Massimo song. He was everywhere. I mean, it was just phenomenal to watch. Again, like we keep saying this week in, week out. You compare to him now to what was like when he first arrived, and that's the McKenna influence, the McKenna ball influence, Rich. That is, which is why he's here in the first place. That's why Chelsea trusted him to come to Ipswich Town under McKenna and his coaches, and you're seeing the fruits of those labours as we come to the end of the season. Yeah, he was just phenomenal. I'd love to know who'd win a race between him and that Jones on the right side for Borough. He was rapid as well, like a Graham, wasn't he? He's the kid who had the chance that Hladky made the first save on. But yeah, Amari, just brilliant. I'll tell you what, though, the run that Connor put him through, and he did the run in front of the Cobbold. Reminded me of the Connor Wickham goal. Was it Sheffield United?
Yeah, dribbled all the way through.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be exactly the same.
I'm not sure what happened there. It almost felt like he stopped.
Well, the keeper saves it.
No, it's Engel. Engel, the defender, makes a fantastic. If you watch it back, it's a fantastic block. When you watch it, I think there's the camera from the top of the North Stand. He could play it to Sarmiento, but listen, he's gone all the way there. He's gone all the way there. I think a lot of people, we were just waiting for the net to bulge. And I thought yesterday, he was, if we were going to win that game, it was going to come from Amari, wasn't it? Because I thought that was the run where he had, bloody hell, Matt Clark's head was like spinning like a spinning top because he didn't know which way he was going to go. I think he probably had, about 5 efforts on goal? He had probably the one he should have been probably a little bit disappointed with himself, Martin, was the one in the first half, which fell to me on the edge of the box and he's tried to bend it in the top corner. He's done everything right there. He's just got a little bit too much on it, but he was sensational yesterday, weren't he? And I think he's a real key player in these final 3 games. If Amari's on it, I think he could do some damage, especially away from home, Matt. You might get a little bit more space on the break if Hull and Coventry are looking to attack. So, but then it comes to the question, if Burns is fit, can Burns come back on the right-hand side and can Amari play in the 10 instead of Chaplin?
Burns could be benched, surely. Surely
it gives you more options, doesn't it? Gives you more options.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure, which is what you need at this point of the season. Daniel says it's set up for Burns cross to Hurst to score to get us up on the final day.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine it? Can you absolutely imagine that? Great comment, Daniel.
The shot that Amari had, the one you talk about, where he curls it just over. Again, I thought that was it. I was up. The build-up of that was very similar to the Wes Burns goal down at end for Coventry. Remember the X amount of passes, wherever it was. Started in a very much similar area of the pitch, didn't it? Again, it was great. It was a great move. Would have been a great goal, that. Very unlucky.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Keeping me as the break, says Stephen Parry, for Davis, specifically for Davis as he's tied. Yeah. Do you know what? Bit of Davis chat in the live chat there about, Graf says he was at a quiet game by his standards. I actually feel sometimes you've got to give flowers to your position. I thought Middlesbrough game plan on how to stop Leif Davis was really good. They had Luke Ayling more or less man for man. Whenever Town had the ball on the right-hand side, Ayling was out to Davis and the centre half was covering the space in between.
Michael Carrick didn't go from the Russell Martin book of coaching, did he, against Leif Davis? We'll give him 30 yards out on the left-hand side. Look, Ayling's a good player. There's a couple of times in the second half. He's one of the biggest shithouses going, Matt. He's got 2 real, just literally in front of us, 2 real cheap free kicks. He knows he's in a little bit of danger. He feels a little touch. Down he goes. Referee gives him, and he knows because he's smiling away. He's smiling. He's the type of guy.
His arms in the air when he played on the floor.
But he's the type of guy. He wants a little bit of interaction, I think, from the crowd because
I like it.
I think that sort of he made the goal. It was a great cross.
Yeah.
He obviously crossed the one in for Matt Clark's header when Alaki saved it. We'll talk about that in a bit. And there was one right at the end there. I think it was in injury time, Martin, when they broke away from the corner. Amari sort of slipped over on the halfway line. He was absolutely bombing down that right-hand side, Luke Ayling. They were like 3-on-1, and I thought, oh, my God, here we go. but we got back and we see it out. So yeah, look, sometimes you do have to give the opposition credit. You know, they've done their homework on Town's main outlet, Martin. You know,
yeah, because what we tend to do is we tend to play it on the right side. You play it back into Morsey, who then has that diagonal switch to Davis. And every time Morsey received the ball, Ayling was out before Morsey even looked up. Ayling knew that's my job. Forget who's in middle, because Morsey's going to play that ball 9 times out of 10 as the outlet. And it just when you close that outlet down, you then have to ask Town how you're going to play differently, how you're going to beat us with different answers. And obviously sometimes we struggle with that, you know, and we did yesterday a little bit. Particularly, as some would say, perhaps Chapman wasn't his best game. But I don't know. I just feel Middlesbrough unbeaten in 8 when they arrived as well. Don't forget, it wasn't ever going to be, you know, an easy game.
I was a little bit surprised with them the last 20, and I know they had the 2 good chances, but for me, Matt, they knew a draw was no good for them. But they didn't really pile men forward. Come the last 10 minutes, I thought they might have took a little bit more of a chance, possibly.
They couldn't get out. They couldn't get. We were smothering them. Their best chance was
Yeah, but I think that sometimes you've got to just try something different. Maybe you know their season's over now. You know they're 9 undefeated. They could obviously do us a massive favour next Monday when they play Leeds. That's probably their sort of local derby, Matt. The Middlesbrough fans.
Plus, there's a derby, I think.
Yeah, Leeds are. That's so.
Is Ayling on loan now? Is Ayling on loan?
Yeah, he's on loan from Leeds, so obviously he won't be able to play. And I think is it Greenwood who came on? He's from Leeds as well, so they'll obviously miss him. But I thought, look, Borough, decent side under Carrick, and they've obviously had a slow start to the season when they'd lost all the goals, didn't they? Because Akpom had gone.
Yeah.
And that's where they struggled at the start, but they're probably one of the form teams in the league, if you look at the minute. We're 9 undefeated, so we hope that they can... We'd all love it. If it was a draw next Monday night, I think we'd all be really happy with that, wouldn't we?
Yeah, absolutely. He's cut from the same cloth, isn't he, Carrick? Obviously, from, you know, coming on the same coaching pathway, haven't they? Yeah, a good team. Look, we took 4 points off them this season. We beat them up, then we've drawn at home. If you reverse those results around, everyone would be probably quite happy, I think. But it's just the context of the result, wasn't it? Everyone just thought, you know, you'd have that little lead over over Leeds.
It's like McKenna said after the game, Matt. You've got to look at Borough. They've spent some money as well. I think 2 million on the Zaz. That Latte Laff was 5 million from Atlanta. So there you go. So
is he the striker?
Yeah,
got the goal.
I'd pay any, not anything, but I'd pay good money from the
energetic forward, isn't he? Yeah.
If we get promoted, I think it'd be really
for someone who's quite small. He's not like the biggest. He was really good in the air. I thought he was good. He got really good. Yeah, but he got a really good leap on him. And I mean, the goal. If you look at the goal we conceded, it's a poor goal again, isn't it? Because
it starts from Morsey, actually, doesn't it?
Not the greatest pass back to Vaz, is it?
No, it wasn't. He sold him short. You know, obviously he ain't done it on purpose. He's in that right back position instead of Twanzebe. So he passes it back, and then Hladky tries to keep the ball in play, doesn't he? I was like, just rosette it. Look, we don't do that, do we? And then suddenly it falls to red shirts, and then it goes back out. We
never really recovered, Matt, from that clearance. We never got reset. It's got recycled out to the right. We've done this before, Martin. We don't really do a lot to stop the cross. We don't get out quick enough.
It's a fabulous cross, though.
It's a great cross.
I'm right behind it. It's a fabulous cross.
And you look at it, it's like he gets in between Wolfenden and Twanzebe. He just goes in there, and it's a good header. It's a good header. You've got to give him credit. Heads it down, doesn't he?
Twanzebe's behind that Alaf, and Wolfenden doesn't really get up high enough. And hence they scored.
It's almost a training goal game, a training game goal, because it literally is a posted stamp cross where only the centre forward can get it. It was a really good goal. As you said about Ayling and the crowd, he turned around straight away and was up, you know, fist pumping the Borough fans. He thrives off that as a player, as you were saying, and it's a fabulous cross. You can't do much about that. There's sometimes you've got to say other players are quality as well, whether they play for you or not, and that was one of those moments.
To show, doesn't it, the difference what we're seeing against, you know, when you're playing high quality opposition. A team that got to the playoffs last season, everyone, and we've taken 4 points off them. Yeah, exactly. We make them. Look, we've seen it all the time with the goals we concede. We make a mistake, we get punished, and you know, at this level, I mean, imagine if we do go up to the Premier League and you know, you're doing that. Yeah,
well, let's do that in the summer when we eventually get there. But you are right, Rick. We don't offer, which is probably where a lot of our problems come from. We don't offer our fullbacks a lot of protection as a system. when the ball breaks down, our fullbacks are normally exposed. As Davis was there.
Well, if you look at, like you say, to start with there, Matt, Axel's been dragged out of position because where's Morsey playing? He's playing at right back, and there is quite a lot of space. If you're playing against Town, that's where you're probably going to look to exploit him on, and you get in behind the fullbacks because they're a lot of the times you see Leif Davis, he'll be bombing down that left-hand side, play breaks down, and you're thinking, and then everyone has to shift across.
Yeah, you can't be everywhere all at the same time. You can't be the outlet ball, but also the 1990s Gary Neville style fullback where you don't cross the halfway line.
It was a little bit like everyone took a massive deep breath then, didn't he, when that goal went in? It's like, here we go again.
Well, I thought it was a great reaction actually from not just the players who we've seen that before, but the fans. I thought that was a good key moment as a collective, really. And we've been put in that position before. I thought our collective experience, fans and players, came into it there because we've been behind before and we've seen this come back. It isn't a new thing, so we've been trained for it almost all season long.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, right now we get going. That's out of the way.
You know it's not curtains, don't you? If you go one down, invariably we can get back in. And well, look, if Samino chance don't hit the post and goes in, we'd have been 2-1 up. So it just goes to show the threat we've got.
Absolutely. We got the goal. The free kick. Massimo ghosted in at the back post and almost taking the crossbar off.
Penalty before that for you, Matt? Leading up to that corner?
Yes.
He's nearly caught the ball, Matt Clark.
Yeah.
I mean, he was obviously at Town, wasn't he, Matt Clark? Now, for me, he's your typical, Martin, Mick McCarthy defender. And now you've got him. They're trying to play out from the back. And there was a time...
He'll be gone next year, Rich.
They said he's had quite a good season. He's played quite well for Borough, but for me...
His composure was zero, bless him.
Yeah, it was a case of, blimey, let him have the ball and let him give it away to you, because there was a couple of times he's put it straight out for a throw-in. But, he goes down sort of a funny angle.
Weird,
It's... The lino's that side, Matt.
Yes, what had he seen or thought he had seen? I don't know. I mean, look, the gap between the cross and where Clark handles it was enough for a pen, absolutely.
Yeah, because it's not as though he's at close proximity. I think you've got to look at the penalty that Bristol City get against Huddersfield yesterday. 10 minutes into injury time as well, Matt.
Oh my God,
Bristol City equalised. Now he's literally a yard away, and he's, when they slide in and they try and block it, and it's definitely hit him on the arm. He's literally a yard away. Nothing he can do with it. Where Matt Clark there, I think Axel does really well. Then he done that right hand side, skips by a couple. Yeah, he's quite a distance away from the cross.
Speed of a cross, though, it's tough for referees, isn't it? Because you've got to take into the body, the body position. Is it close? Is it out?
He must have thought he chested it. Otherwise, they'd have given it, surely. Look, this is Football League match officials we're talking about here. But
this is it, and they don't help each other. Like from corners, particularly. Like you would think they would have a better system these days where it's one man.
How many more times do I want to see a referee at Portman Road before a corner comes in? Oh, yeah, I'll just have to go and have a chat with these lads because they're pulling and pushing each other.
They then stand there and watch both players literally tear the shirt off.
They'll do the same.
And you think, what was the conversation about? Because where are you looking? You literally, and also as a player, if you just told my colleague off, right, for doing it, in my head, I'm thinking, well, you're not watching me, are you?
Was that Jonas Knudsen? Was that Jonas Knudsen at
Reading away?
Yes, do you remember?
Talk about that. Chris Hall was on Twitter, friend of the show, Chris Hall, West Brom fan, who, by the way, did they get a penalty in the midweek that was
against Rotherham about 3 yards outside the area? It's one of the worst decisions I've ever seen in my life.
Crazy.
It's terrible.
Talking of which, just before I forget, did you see Hladky bowl the ball out in the D yesterday?
Yes, I did.
No one, did you see that, Rich? No one picked it up.
I see on Twitter, was that, in the first half?
Yeah,
someone said he was outside the area.
Well out, at least 2 yards. Easy. And the lino's looking at it.
It was
very odd.
It was heart in mouth moment. Not because he would get sent off, but he would have been a booking and a free kick.
And a free kick on it. What was Chris moaning about? Penalties?
No, about rules. So in August, we're getting 500 minutes of added on time. In April, 6 subs, 10 minutes for things like that, and you get 4. Why do rules get introduced that are prominent in August time?
Yeah,
but by April,
we said it before.
It's forgotten.
I remember that Sunderland game, which seems about 5 minutes ago because the season's gone so quick. It was like 13 minutes added on time at the end.
Well, take yesterday. Both teams made, I think, the full allocation of subs, if not all but one. There was time wasting. There was stoppage.
5 minutes.
5 minutes, wasn't it?
It was 5 minutes for a water break in
I
August.
didn't expect much more, to be honest, because I don't think the trainer had hardly been on the field, had he, yesterday?
If you got 6 subs.
Yeah, but then we made 2 at once. So what's that?
Yeah,
is that 30? I don't know.
Shoot yourself in the foot there, don't you?
No one knows.
This is it, and this is what Chris was complaining about, and I guess I'm kind of with him. Referees being inconsistent, but I think it was a penalty. Then we scored the corner. Massimo, big moment for him. I suddenly realised halfway through the game, 2 ex-Borough players in our midfield, Morsey and Matt.
Yeah.
He said pre-match, Matt, that he enjoyed his time at Borough. He didn't enjoy it that much because he didn't bloody play.
Did he?
Literally didn't play a minute, did he?
No.
He probably didn't have to train. He's probably sat at home having a coffee, watching Holmes Under the Hammer. He was having a life of a ride.
Took him 6 weeks to find the towel shirt.
I'll miss him.
I'm glad he did. We haven't looked back since.
It was a good goal, wasn't it? He kind of goes in at the far post and sort of Jackie Chan's it in, doesn't he? Like karate kicks it.
It was great, wasn't it? Absolutely awesome. Took the crossbar off with it.
Double one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Talk about Jeremy Sarmiento. Got to give him flowers in that moment as well, Rich, because your job as the player on the keeper is literally just stand your ground.
Give flowers to everybody today.
Well, you sometimes got to, because you watch the goal back. That goal doesn't happen without Jeremy Sarmiento standing his ground, sticking his backside into the Borough defender, who then sticks his back into the keeper, who then has to come round the two of them, is out of position, and that's his job done. And sometimes that's hard because as a player, you want to get involved, you want to wander, you want to do a Kevin Nolan. And hey, we haven't been great recently on set pieces, I feel.
No, agreed.
So it was good to get that goal. It was good to get us back in the game.
It's important, wasn't it, as well? It's important as well to get a goal before half time because it settled everybody down. You know, if you're going in at 1-0, you're probably thinking, oh, no, here we go again. And we get back to 1-1, and then obviously the one that hits the post. And then we're playing quite well then, Matt, getting up to half time. And I'm thinking, we're going to get another goal here. I really felt that we're going to get ahead.
Goes back to the point earlier, doesn't it? When you're in this kind of the context of promotion and like you got this pressure, we've said it before, who cares how it goes on? As long as it goes in, do you know what I mean? And I still think going forward, these 3 games we've got remaining, if we could, if it's 0-0 and it's locked, what's this?
We've been called lucky Ipswich by a lot of.
Oh, God, everybody.
Well, luck. We've hit the post the other night. We've hit the post.
Fairy tale town, mate. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Get
the post against Southampton. That's the last 3 games. If you'd have been doing the old bin goals, that is one of the things on hitting the woodwork.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
it is. Over 18's only big gamble away.
No guillotine gov anymore, Mike D says. More like gift shop gov.
Flower shop gov.
Wow, look at
like
this.
Tracy Barlow, Coronation Street. Everyone's having flowers.
Well, it is a little bit of different times now, Mike. You know, we're not playing in fucking League One against Rochdale and Northampton and what was that guy who took the free kick? Was it Josh Harrop at Swindon?
Oh yes,
put it out the ground, didn't he? I mean, look at some of the dross that we had to sit through and watch.
I know.
And this is where you have to give yourself a little bit of a shake, Matt.
Yeah.
And remember what we were watching and what we're watching now. And look, we're disappointed we didn't win, but we're still a point ahead. We're still one more point than them other 2 teams had at the start of play at the weekend.
I think, but going back to the goal, the point I was making was that we capitalised on a set piece. And then suddenly you saw the free-flowing stuff and Sarmiento hits the post. We may have to rely on this when we're back in the pressure cooker at Hull, Coventry, whatever. And, free kick, pen, corner, and then suddenly the pressure's
Oh, my Lord. We've only had 3 penalties, Matt, all season. I mean, I look at the minute. It's hard work watching, but one of these games, you get a penalty, say 5 or 10, like Port Vale last season.
You'd even take it.
I mean, you'll be hiding me on the sofa. You wouldn't be. Oh, my God.
Was the Chaplin one a penalty for you? Because I thought.
No, got the ball. Good tackle.
Okay. I haven't seen it back. I just thought live view.
I was shouting for it, but deep down, I knew he'd got the ball.
Yeah. I'd be shouting for a crisp packet across the pitch at the moment, Matt. Like literally anything I can get. Like, come on, ref. That's offside, surely. Like, I'm shouting for everything.
Are you slightly worried that we've not scored in free play in 3 games? It's taken like a corner because we haven't scored since Southampton, have we? Look, we drew blank with Watford and Norwich, and then it's taken a corner yesterday. Did you feel like we were going to score in open play yesterday? I mean, it was.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I was disappointed we didn't. I thought Amari Hutchinson, as Rich said, I thought when he cut inside
the run,
from the Borough keeper, I thought that was the moment when he cut inside. I thought it's opened up. This is it. This is going to nestle.
I mean, on another day, mine, he probably has 2 goals. Amari, we probably win that game probably 3-1. But then I can't sit here and say that Borough probably we'll come on to probably the chances they had, because they could have quite easily won that game.
Well, we'll get there in just a second, but this is where the substitutions sort of come into it. I could see the thinking behind Ali starting, and it's not that he didn't play well. I'm just thinking I would have preferred someone like Ali with his pace up against Matt Clark in the last 20 minutes when Matt Clark played 60, 65 against Kiefer Moore. Because Kiefer Moore is not going to give you pace in behind at that stage of the game.
We debated it Friday, didn't we, with Ben? Who the striker options have been. Look, you could have actually played Caden there in the end, couldn't you? Because Ali didn't actually have a sniff, did he? No, he done his best.
Pace, don't you? Matt Clark, he's not known for his pace, is he?
Caden brings you the pace as well.
And I just thought a bit like Norwich, Kiefer Moore matched up well against their two centre halves in the sense of they want that style of play against them.
But he didn't get a sniff either, particularly, did he? Against Norwich. We're not really feeding the striker, are we? This is the problem.
This is it. Someone texted me saying Kiefer Moore didn't give us much today, and I texted him back saying, "Did we give Kiefer Moore much?"
He ain't going to go on the line.
I've said before, he's got what 6 goals, and he's a bit dry lately, but he's a different type of player than George Hurst because, and this is another thing about Connor as well, Matt. Yeah, he's got great hair. This is another thing about Connor. Connor's probably missing Wes Burns, his mate on the right. You know.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah.
And
partnerships, isn't it?
And I think Hurst made them other players better. Does Kiefer Moore make them other players around him better?
Yes. Because
I don't think he does.
It's a game of moments. It's a game of moments because if Nathan Broadhead can expect with that back heel, we were in that game of football yesterday.
And you were saying that was great, wasn't it?
And then you were sitting here saying what great chemistry they have as Welsh international partners, and it showed yesterday with that movement, and he knew where Moore was without looking. Games, it's about moments, and I think to say, does he make them better? I love watching Kiefer Moore play, not just for the hair, naturally, as a hair connoisseur, but just because I think he's a good player, technically really good.
I do agree with you on that because, you know, if you got a player putting a cross into the box and Kiefer with all his prowess, his experience, international Premier League, tucks it in, everyone's going, that's a great goal. It was a great cross. It was a great finish.
But like we just said, we don't play to his strengths. You see the cross the other night when Harry Clark gets down the line and that one he should score against Watford. That's what he thrives off. Millwall. You've got an Amari. He's a different player, Matt, than Wes Burns. Wes Burns can get past the fullback with his pace and whip a ball in. Whereas Amari, sometimes when he gets that ball, he's tricky, isn't he? Because he's slowing the play down and then he gets a trick and then he wants to beat. And then sometimes he'll come inside on the left foot and he'll have a shot. Like he did yesterday. There was one, I think he came inside and it got headed over the crossbar second half. So, yeah, I'm not. Kiefer Moore is exactly what I thought he was going to be, you know, when he signed. Good target man, but doesn't offer. Well, I don't think he's physically capable of George Hurst. You've got to look. He's 7 years younger. George Hurst is. Yes. You know
what you need is a Luke Ayling style cross onto Kiefer Moore's head. Is what you're looking for. You said earlier, Ryan, the postage stamp ball into the box. Is what
the game against Preston. Look at the carnage. When he came off the bench. Why? Because we put balls in the box.
Like Millwall away.
Goes back to Richie's other point the other night, though. When are we really good? In chaos. Preston game of 3 down. Game was lost almost, really. Suddenly, you know, it's caution to the wind and you're putting the ball into the area, aren't you?
And Moore likes to come shorter than Hurst. If you watch his style of play, he likes to come and collect the ball. Like yesterday, we collected that ball from, I think it was Mawson, and he just spreads it out to Hutchinson without even looking. Touch, spread, because he wants that ball in the box, obviously, in return. But he comes short. Hurst doesn't, and they're very different players. They're very similar, maybe in stature, but they're not the same in how they play football. But it could have been a different story yesterday. Before we drop a link, Borough could have walked away with all 3 points. 2 opportunities at the end. We've had conversations this morning about which one is the better save.
What happened with him? What happened with Wolfie there? Was there a gust of wind blew him over?
He was like a dolphin coming up for air. He was just straight up.
He was like a sea lion, and his sea lion's just been washed up on shore. And he's trying to get back. He was like on the floor, wasn't he? It's like, oh my God, what was going on there?
You need to be stronger in that position. Shows you how good that Latte Laff is. 5 million striker, like you said, Rich. And you know the energy that he had. He's already challenged someone else for the ball, and then gone to Wolverhampton for the ball.
Axel, he's done Axel and Wolfie, 2 of your bigger players. One played in the Champions League, as Matt likes to tell me, and he's completely he's nicked their back pockets. He's done it, and he's away. And
he should score, Jones. Isaiah Jones should score there, Matt.
Take a touch, son. Take a touch. You've got time.
I
He
thought it
doesn't
was
take a
him.
touch.
I've got to
Doesn't
say.
center himself, does he? That's the thing. I thought he did in the live action, but watching it back, he doesn't. He takes it first time, and
It's a great save.
I mean, I said the statue yesterday, Martin. The worst keeper in the bleeding world last week, apparently. Oh
Yeah.
my God!
not
Hercules,
not a shot
this week.
stopper.
And
Not a
what did
shot
we
stopper.
say? What did we say last week in our Norwich show? Next week he could be a match saver.
And he
Oh
was.
bloody hell! Surprise, surprise! You know,
Which is the best save then? Because I'm going to put my little vote, which we'll come to in a second before the link as well, on the second save, because I've watched them both back. I think they're both brilliant. But the second save, if you watch his feet, he shifts them to the left before he has to go dive to his right, and that's really hard as a goalkeeper when your momentum has gone left to then come back across
it
yourself.
was kind of straight. It was down the middle, though, wasn't it?
That's the
one?
only thing. That's the only thing I'll say. I said this morning on the WhatsApp. I think any half decent goalie there, Matt, should be saving that one because
He's not, is he? Straight last week.
No, but it's not straight at him. But I would
expect Leiston's team apparently.
I would expect a decent Championship goalie to save that one. The first one, I think, is a better save because I think he stands up, and I think that's I think Walter would have caught him.
He'd have headed both away.
But that's a massive moment. That's a massive, two massive moments in 30 seconds that could in the final table. If we're a point ahead, you look at probably little moments, Martin, like that, because
it's down to
one of them.
We're top of the table, Rich.
Yeah, if one of them goes in, we probably lose that game 2-1, and we're sitting here thinking, "Ah, shit, here we go, haven't we?" But we're not. We took a really valuable point.
We did. Second save says
doing the team off instead.
Hamish says the second save was better, but the first, the better chance. Lad's been magnificent this season and must stay. Mike D says the first save was better. So again, split in the chat, which is what you would expect.
Shows you they're great saves, doesn't it? Shows you how great the saves were.
I just haven't played in goal. Second, the headers at pace. It's a really.
Would you say that? Would you say that?
Not a chance. No. If I did, I wouldn't be sat here talking to you two, would I? I'd be playing for Ipswich Town Football Club.
Oh, you probably made great saves on a Sunday morning. Come on.
Again, I wouldn't be sat here talking to you two if I had, would I?
Martin, with the greatest respect, I don't think your goalkeeping prowess and experience can match Ladke's in a 30,000-seater stadium.
Well, it could last week.
Premier League promotion on the line.
Well, it could last week. It could last week. Why can't it this week?
Some people would have had you in goal last week after the glaring error.
This is it. Govs, Ali said, Gav, you should have been in hospitality this week. All the action up that. Yeah, I know. Shocking, isn't it? All the action.
What did you have for dinner, by the way? This was never actually was beef, and then did you have a starter?
Yeah, it was cheese board and something else. I just ordered two, one of each, so we could mix and match.
Else.
How did
you manage with a tooth, though?
I didn't. That beef? I didn't.
Can you take this away, please, and you can put it in a blender for me?
Yeah.
Have it in a shake.
Can I have soup, please?
Have the dessert as well? What do you have for dessert?
As I said, cheese board and something else.
Oh, you had that as a dessert?
That's what they offer. Cheese board or a sort of a chocolate caramel.
Well, ain't got cheesecake or something?
Nah, but they could do it, cheesy. And you get little plates.
Turning your nose up at it, bloody! Look at him over there, bloody Gordon Ramsay.
Even no one's asked him if that's why he's upstairs. And even if they did, who would he take?
Well, that's a bit harsh. That's a bit harsh. Blimey.
Sorry.
I'll take the cruncher. Me and the cruncher.
He wouldn't go with you. He wouldn't go with you.
Yeah, we're popping there. There you go. The boys can look after themselves. They're getting big enough. Well, you go down there. We'll see you after the game, lads.
Yeah, after the match.
I finally found where you sit, Rich, after 3 years.
So how did you see me yesterday? Because I had my black shirt on.
Yes, I know, but it was your son, your oldest, wearing what my father-in-law calls Wire Town warming up in their pajama top.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this would have been Elliot. Where's that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I spotted Elliot, and I was like,
yeah, he's got that on.
And then I saw you, and I saw the other two to your right as the left as I looked at you, and I was waving furiously.
Is he still wearing all three shirts this season?
No, because the weather's a lot warmer now. He's just gone down to one. He's still got his skin on there.
I had one layer yesterday. Shocking.
I was actually going to comment that I see the match reaction show. Great show, by the way, available to watch back at any time. And I see Gov in the retro shirt, and I thought, blimey, Gov's come out. Normally he has about 6 layers on, doesn't he?
And I was debating with the wife.
That shirt is signed by Ian Marshall.
It is.
Is it got Marshall on the back?
Yeah.
Marshall 10.
Yeah. It's signed.
Did we see the new retro shirts yesterday?
I'll get in the bin. 50 quid, 40 quid, 42
49 notes.
A bit lumpy. The White Fison's one's good, isn't it? I like that one.
I don't know why anyone would buy the 93-94 one or 94-95. That's the relegation shirt when we got fucking slapped 9-0 at Man United.
Yeah.
I mean,
I did see people wearing it.
that gives me Lee Chapman vibes. That does.
Yeah, God, yeah.
Speaking of which, midweek, Steve Sedgley was in the celebrity
your
in
hero.
hospitality. What? I was such a fanboy. I saw it.
Sedgley.
Steve Sedgley.
Yeah, he was one of the ones when obviously when Burley came in and he played in that game, and then Burley wanted to clear them all out, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were like, sort of the old school. Good player, left foot, very good.
Great.
Friend of the show, Adam Tanner. Always calls him Sedge when he's been on it, didn't he? Sedge.
It was so good, and he wanted a picture with John Walk. So even celebrities have fanboy moments. Like he was like, I need to get a picture with you before you go. Yeah, it's such a.
They were in that 9-0 team together, weren't they? Because Walkie played with Flew, didn't he, in that game?
Did he?
Centre half.
Was that the game when did Marshall come on the sub that day?
He refused to come on, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, if you go back to our archive and find the Marshall, he was asked to come on, and he was almost hiding behind the advertising boards.
7-0 down at the time.
What do you want me to do about it?
That's what he basically said, didn't he? What the fuck do you want me to do about it?
I think my hamstring's gone. I'll just stay
Ian Marshall, the greatest story. I went to a night, I think he was at the Dove. You probably heard the story about when he was at Bolton, when Sam Allardyce was there, and he didn't live local, so he'd only train a couple of times a week. But Sam gave him one of them vest or them heart
rate monitors,
and he said to put that on, and we were like, because you can obviously plug it in. So he's brought it back, and it's like, fucking hell. They're looking at these stats and thinking, what the fuck was that? And then he's gone away and he's done it again. Well, he strapped it to his dog, didn't he? That was why.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I love Marshall, but saw Sedgley, was like, oh wow, what? He's my first player. I really sort of was like, oh, I love Steve Sedgley.
Hit the post against Sheffield United in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's my childhood memory, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was that a free kick?
Free kick. North stand end, dinks it over inside of the post. That North stand post again.
That North stand post again. This time it's the Churchman's post. It's causing us the issues.
Yeah.
I'm dropping a link right now. Before we do, don't forget Stomach Osteopaths. You can go there. Tell Freddie the Governor sent you for osteopath physiotherapy needs. I go there for my osteopath. 01449613633. Don't live life with aches and pains. Go and see Freddie at Stomach Osteopaths, and he'll put you right. Probably, maybe. Can't guarantee it, obviously. 01449613633. That's sort of the disclaimer bit there. Can't guarantee you'll walk out. I can't doing cart.
There's an asterisk now to this, is there?
Absolutely.
Small print.
Absolutely. Yeah, my first direct business insurance probably needs to be covered.
People are beyond saving. Yeah.
Yeah, like me. So link's been dropped. Do join us. Have your say on anything you've heard, anything you want to talk about. But before we do bring anybody in, Player of the Year was announced, and Rich.
I've got a massive bee in my bonnet.
No.
Here he goes.
I've got a massive bee in my bonnet.
Saucepan.
I've spoken to Richard Chandler. Obviously, Rich is on the committee, and he wasn't in favour of this. I think they probably had to vote on it, and I think he said they're going to try and obviously change a few things. Look, we were all there last season, Matt, when we beat Exeter 6-0. That day,
that went on too long and all.
Should have been, but it should have been all about the players celebrating, going around the pitch, and then we had the Player of the Year presentation after that, and you're thinking, why are they doing it here? Now, I remember back in the day when I was younger, I went down there back in the 80s and 90s, Matt. They'd always used to do it on the last game of the season, last home game, before the game. Now, someone said on Twitter this morning, because I put a post out, and they said, I think George Burley changed that because they want to get them like, they're obviously in that mindset of a game, your warm-ups and all that. But for me, Sam Morsey, whoever gets Player of the Year, here you go, present the trophy, quick picture, away you go. He's not going to have a 10-minute speech. Now, yesterday, and Martin didn't even know about when you could vote. Now, going back to like the... Going back to
like that.
Yeah, but this is... A lot of people, going back to the new shirt that they brought out, the retro shirts yesterday morning, what happens then? Your inbox gets full up with emails from... we've got new shirts coming out. There's an evening coming up with Chris Kiwomya and John Walker at the ground.
Correction.
Because it said below. It said about it said about it's with Chris Kiwomya and Walker. Yet below it said you could have you can get there early. You can have drinks in the Burley's bar with George Burley and who else? I can't remember.
A bit of correction.
Yeah,
I got that bit.
When I clicked the correction one, I was like thinking, Walkie's cancelled already.
But you get all of them. But there was not a lot of advertising how you could vote for the players. It used to be buckets outside the ground. I remember that. And then you'd count up.
One thing, is it? It's a supporters club thing.
Yeah.
So is the club not supporting it properly digitally?
Well, so there was nothing on that. And then there was very little. I think, and you two, I don't think you knew that it was at the end of the game yesterday. There was hardly any.
Just didn't care.
But there was a lot of people didn't know. They're not. Hang on, AD. They're not going to present it at half time, are they? Sam Horsey's not going to be having his cup of tea, and he's got. Out you go, Sam.
Get him out here.
Go collect the trophy. Do it before the last game of the season, before kickoff, right? Now, for me, Horsey's been the outstanding player. I waited around, and then I waited around for another 10 minutes, and the lads wanted to go, and I thought, sod this, I'm going to go home. The ground was like, there must have been about 500 people in the stadium, right? Sam Horsey doesn't deserve that. Whoever is player of the year doesn't deserve that. They deserve to be lifting that trophy in front of 30,000. Look, not everybody's in the ground before kickoff, but there's going to be a damn sight more people in the ground. And I thought it was a little bit embarrassing, if I'm honest. And you know what it reminded me, Matt? It reminded me of the time when Roy Keane was manager and we just got absolutely walloped 3-0 by Sheffield United, last game of the season. Tom Eastman had been sent off. I don't know if you remember that, Gov. And they came out to have their lap of appreciation. And there was fucking hardly anybody there. And I'm thinking, the club have done a lot of good things. The club have done a lot. No, he didn't even come out. But the club have done a lot of good things. But even, like you say, that are the club that invested in it, there was nothing on the Ipswich Town Twitter feed about Sam Horsey's been voted player of the year. There's no pictures. There's no nothing. It was just weird. It's just like, it's a bit of an afterthought for me.
So where did you two hear about it?
I think, I think I see it online. I knew about the voting because I'd voted for Horsey, and I think I've read it on there. But there's not a lot of publicity, and then it just goes on. It goes on too long, and people at the end of the game yesterday. Yeah, fair enough. If we'd have won the game, there'd have probably been quite a few more people stayed behind, Matt, because the mood you'd have been in.
So the big question then is, why is the club not supporting that trophy lift properly? Is it because, like you say, is it supporters club run thing? But as we keep hearing, Ashton keeps saying the supporters keep stepping up for us. So at least give some respect to the trophy that the fans have voted. Right?
This has been going on for years. This trophy, this has gone back years. There's been some great names have won that. So you need to just get it right next time.
The only reason
I wonder how many votes they got. Sorry, I just wonder how many votes they got, because maybe ownership of, because I left because I hadn't voted for it. I didn't know anything about it, and I thought at the time it's been decided by a committee somewhere.
No.
But
now I'm learning this for the first time. That's why I left. Because I thought, I've had no part in this. It's like,
the only reason Burley would have changed it up was because if they had lost that game or whatever, there would be people having a go at him saying, well, bloody hell, your players weren't in the mindset. They're lifting trophies before the match starts. That's probably the thinking behind that. They should just use the big screen. Use the facility you've got in the stadium. Do the presentation at the training ground. Quick interview with Morsey and put it all on the screen. And then 30,000 can watch it. That would make more sense to me.
I still think that devalues a bit. I think it's a supporters award. It's a supporters who voted for it. They should be able to see that trophy being. Look, they used to have the first season Kieran was there after we played Charlton, didn't we, last game of the season, and they had the marquee out the back on the in the fan zone.
Yeah,
and we went to that, but that only holds 200. So yeah, and then they've got. Look, you could obviously go to the dinner. That's going to cost you an arm and a leg, but who already's got that award, and there's all sponsors, trophies, and that there. But I just think for that one trophy that the fans have voted for, and that you've watched these players all season, I just think you've got to just do a little bit better than that.
So it makes sense to go back to how it was then, and you get the trophy as you know, in the warm up or whatever. I mean, bloody hell, he is a professional footballer, captain of a club,
mascots.
Played international football, meets mascots. He can just do a photo for 10 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. Say a little present, little trophy, smile, shake a hand. Yeah. Thanks ever so much, guys. Right now,
they can't do it. They can't run with that thing next season, like you said. Reach 500 people in there.
I genuinely don't know how. So it was advertised, but I would have thought, this platform reached, I don't know, approximately 40,000 people in the last month. Blue Monday, I'm sure, reached a number that was a high number. Kings of Anglia. Why are you not trying to reach the fans? You haven't got to pay for anything. Just say, look, the vote's open. Can you mention it? And then you would at least got.
Oh yeah.
Like, how are you communicating this to the fan base?
Right. On a positive note, because Matt says that was a bit negative and we didn't want to open up the foundation yesterday. Just want to talk about that. I thought that was excellent at half time.
Yeah, wonderful.
Dan and his team have done a brilliant job. Hopefully, they raised a load of money. We had all them different people coming around the pitch, didn't we, at half time? And it was great that the Middlesbrough fans joined in. Matt, they give them a round of applause. And we look. we are a community club now, and that's the one thing, probably the one thing good that Paul Lambert done at this football club.
Mm.
Yeah, the one good thing, other than the German thing we used to do when we all went in the line and did it. Hey, which Martin loved.
Oh, White Fleetwood. Hey.
He did more than one good thing. Come on, let's be honest.
The walk around the pitch was excellent yesterday. Fantastic. Well done, everyone. Brilliant. The foundation. Brilliant.
Yeah, it was. There you go. You've been negative for a moment, Rich. You've had your go, your beer and your bonnet.
We all agree with you. We all agree with you. That's the thing.
I think you're fair.
Yeah.
I think it's a fair point. And we might show a little bit longer today because obviously no shows next week. We are back Sunday, but no show Wednesday. I think you're fair. Leeds fan here says Liam Moore. Telling you now, we pick up nothing away versus Borough or QPR. QPR is a bogey team for us away. We've gone from believing we can beat whoever we want to be. We want to believe we will not score again this season.
Wow,
oh, Liam.
But look, Liam here. This is your typical football fan, because you'll have Town fans now getting edgy. You'll have Leicester fans getting edgy. Probably the one bunch of fans who are thinking, tell you what, we could crash the party here. It's Southampton.
Yeah.
And a couple of weeks ago, everyone was saying, oh, you're out the race for the top two, guys. Get ready for the playoffs.
It makes more sense for Ipswich and Leeds to go up because we know Leicester are going to start on minus something next season. Makes sense for us to get up there.
No, we want Leicester to go up with us because that'll give us an advantage if they start on minus 5 or 6.
There you go. Look, we're playing checkers. He's playing chess over here. Look,
yeah.
Absolutely different mind thinking. Love that. But yeah, no, I had a comment on the match reaction show about how we're not going to win. We'll lose at Coventry or draw at Coventry, and then we'll lose or draw the other. I was like, so Town aren't going to win another game this season. That's what you're saying, which I think
it's strange, isn't it? Because we sat on here for weeks trying to work out and thinking, we're going to need near on 100 points. Who knows? You might get up with another 3 draws, Matt.
Well, you could do. I thought like, you know, when I've been like not anti-Kieran, right? When I've been negative about Kieran before, I'm never allowed to forget it. It gets mentioned weekly in the comments. You know, I have to be held accountable.
You know, yesterday, Town set the record for the highest number of points by a promoted team ever.
What have you seen this season that makes you think Ipswich aren't going to win another game this season? If there's one manager that's going to get you over the line compared to the other 2 that we're in the frame with, and Russell Martin just outside it all, it's Kieran McKenna. Man's been a bloody magician.
I think we'll just have enough in the tank. I think we're probably going to have to win 2 games.
I think we might end up losing one. I've never been confident about going to Hull, Coventry back to back.
Well,
but then they could be out of the playoffs by then, right? So I mean,
they play each other soon as well, Matt.
Yeah, they play each other. That's Hull's game in hand, actually, on Norwich, I think. Yeah,
we'll do a permutations game next week. Obviously, it will be another game up. So on Sunday, we'll do a permutations game.
Only Leicester will have played. Only Leicester and Southampton will have played another 2.
Yeah, but Liam's just told us Leeds aren't going to do another thing this season. So I'm sure Liam's got the inside track on all things Leeds.
Well, that's the Monday night game, isn't it? Leeds. Is that a Monday night game?
Yeah, Leeds Borough next Monday.
Yeah,
they'll probably go and smash.
I mean, I've watched the highlights this morning of the game against Blackburn. I mean, Martin's probably is right. They are going to score here sometime because they were literally all over. They've had 30 corners leads in the last 2 games. I mean,
unbelievable.
Well, it's just the goalkeeper pairs who couldn't save anything against us suddenly turned into prime Francesco Toldo.
Wow, he was saving everything, wasn't he? Punching it away. Yeah, he had a bit of luck with a couple of them, but it's football, isn't it? It's just football.
It is. All right, bringing Stephen Parry first of all. Stephen, welcome in front of his newly painted wall. Hi, how you doing?
Right. How you doing, guys?
Tell us what you're thinking.
I'm all right myself. You know, at the end of the day, the way I know, obviously, I get the frustration, I get the anger. You know, every time we hit the post against Watford, and I was like, my God, we're going to blow it. You know, and they had chances to win. Both Watford and Borough had chances to beat us. So you come out of those games realistically thinking, well, points a good result. You know, we could have lost it, we could have won it. You know, and they're not rubbish sides. You know, Southampton only just got past Watford yesterday with a very dubious late goal.
Handball, wasn't it, Steve? Look to me, handball.
I think so. You know, and so Watford's been doing well. You know, Borough's one of the form sides. You know, they're not the form side, but we're one of the form sides. And that's not going to be an easy game for Leeds on next week. You know, they've got what? They absolutely hate Leeds with a passion. You know, it's like us and Norwich. It's not even a derby, but it's like us and Norwich. It's like, what is it, a teens derby or something. but they really hate Leeds, and they will not want to lie down for them, no matter what. Even if they're out of the playoffs, they won't want to lie down for them. And that Leeds fans, right? QPR away under Cifuentes, they could quite easily go to a 5-4-1 and frustrate Leeds. You know, and Leeds haven't played well when they've been frustrated. You know, you look at them against all the teams like Watford, like Blackburn. I think Blackburn was. They should have lost. I looked at it. Same with the Blackburn game and the Plymouth game that Leicester played. To me, that reminded me of the Lincoln game. You know what I mean? You're all over them and they catch you out. You know, and I'm like, that destroyed me. And I know how Leeds and Leicester are feeling right now. You know, they must be like on the floor after that, where you have all the play, all the shots, and you get a sucker punch. You know, it gutted me that. So I look at our results and say, well, yeah, we got a point at both of them, yeah, in games that we could have lost. And I'll take that, you know. Could we have won? Of course. And do you get the frustration in the fact that we could have won? Yes. But I also look into it and I think, let's look at where we were before Norwich, yeah? And everyone was saying, well, so long as we're in with a shout with the last three, so long as we're within touching distance of the last three, or we just get more points than Leeds and Leicester, we'll be all right. And we have done. We've done both of those things. But now suddenly everything's changed to, oh, it's a bad result. We should have won that. But we've done what we said before Norwich, so long as we're in touch. And now things have changed. So that sees where the expectation rises. And I'm just trying to say, like, at the end of the day, my expectations haven't risen. You know, I was always 8th to 12th. So I'm buzzing no matter what happens. Yeah. And I want to try and keep balanced. I don't want to get too high or too low. I get angry.
Which is good because you don't tend to.
No, but I get angry during games. You want to see me like yesterday? I was punching cushions and everything. You know, I get angry during games. Yeah, usually because I've had a few sherbets, but I get angry during games. But
treat responsibly, please.
As soon as the game's finished, I know I can't do anything about it. That's what's happened. And I think we play better, and people can disagree with this. I think we play better when we know what we've got to do, when we're the hunter and not the hunted. Because when we're the hunted, we've always been caught. But we've always caught people when we're the hunter. You know, so if you know, we've got 3 games left and we've got to find 4 points, I'm confident we can find 4 points. I'm more than confident we can find 4 points. You know, everyone's going Coventry is going to be a hard game. They're a tough team to beat. Birmingham found it quite easy yesterday. They got absolutely smashed by Birmingham. They couldn't buy a win. You know, so it's one of those seasons, and it's one of these times of the season where it doesn't matter who you play, it doesn't matter how good your form has been, you can get a slap. And I'm quite confident we can. I don't think, you know, we look at it now, and you could probably say by the time we play Hull and Coventry, they might not even have anything to play for anyway. You know, if Norwich keep winning, they might as well just give up because they're not going to get playoffs. And Norwich are keeping winning. And Leicester's got West Brom. For me, I think West Brom's going to have to start winning. They're going to start getting some points because they're dropping down that table quicker than you can. So they've got to start getting some results.
Agreed.
I do think at the end of the season, it's probably going to be one of us and Leeds. I think Leicester's got the biggest problem. I know they've got an extra game, but that extra game's against Southampton. And that comes in 3 weeks, and 2 weeks, and that's Southampton's on a run of form right now. I don't think Southampton will win all 5. I think that's for the birds. They might get 2, maybe 3, but I don't think they'll win all 5. And I think it'll probably end up being us and Leeds that go up.
All right. Like that. Steve, as always.
I'll just come back a little bit there on Steve. Southampton, they have done it before. Let's all remember what they've done. And I know it's a little bit different than Steve because you've not got so much pressure. And now they have to, obviously, they're going game by game, but they know that they've got to win every game. But I'd say that they are capable. I'm not saying they're going to do it.
Yeah. But they've also got some tricky games in there. Preston away, it's not an easy one. They've got Cardiff away, not an easy one. Stoke, you could pretty much probably say they'd win that one because that's at home. You know, Leicester at home, that's not going to be easy. I could see a draw there quite easily. You know, Leeds, is it Leeds away? Yeah, I think it's
Ellen Road.
Season. I can see a Leeds win there. You know, if I'm being honest, yeah. I know right now nobody could see a win there, but Leeds have got more than enough. You know, And I think Leicester's the biggest problem. I think they've got the biggest problem right now because none of those strikers seem to want to score goals. At least we're creating goals and we're scoring goals. I know Leeds hasn't scored many, but they can create goals. Leicester are struggling everywhere. The defence looks weak. Their attack looks a bit. And if you look at the season, a lot of their games have been won by. They've not been convincing. They've been winning by the odd goal.
But they weren't convincing when we played them, Steve.
No.
I thought they were decent, but they weren't convincing. But I think the game for them it's a massive game for them Saturday when they play West Brom at home. I think if they don't get a result there, and then they've got Southampton next up, I think they're already under pressure now. But if they don't get a result Saturday, they're going to be massively under pressure.
Who's their game in hand? Is it West Brom or Southampton?
Southampton.
They go down, and that's not going to be easy. I could see a draw and probably them coming back on points with us, but then they'll have played West Brom. Maybe they get a draw there because we all know Corbrands. They're struggling. They're like Leeds. They're struggling against the low block. That's Corbrands food and drink.
Is it at the Dell? Not the Dell. Is it at
West Brom?
St Mary's?
Is it King Power?
Is it Leicester Southampton? Is that a home or away type Leicester?
King Power, Leicester.
So you would fancy him there. You would fancy for me.
I don't know because Leicester can pass better than Southampton can pass better than Leicester, and I think they've got more clinical strikers than Leicester.
I think Armstrong, Steve, he's got the most goal involvements in the league. I think he's got 21 goals. I think he's got 12 assists. So look Southampton are on form.
I know you look at Leicester.
Final point, Steve. Final point.
Daka can't hit a barn door.
Oh.
Vardy, for some reason, seems like he's 105. Nobody plays in the action. Yeah.
The body language was bad, wasn't it, Steve, against Plymouth? That Mavropanos' body language was terrible.
I think like they all were. I think like they paid 10 million for Cannon. I think they've lost him. At the end of the day, the top and bottom of it, every single player, even coaches were getting sent off. Every single player was arguing.
If you'd turned that game on, Steve, the other night, Plymouth Leicester, and you didn't know who was top of the league and who was struggling, you'd have no idea, would you really, that it was Leicester who were the team at the top?
No, because they were all arguing with each other. Every time there was someone passing into the box and there was nobody there, they were shouting at each other. I'm thinking that's not a team who's unified. That's a team who's, there's something wrong somewhere. And that's what makes me think that they're the ones who've got the biggest problems because they can't fix that overnight. That's going to take time and they haven't got time, And I do think that Leicester, with us and Leeds, are probably the ones who are in the pole position, even though form and the league table doesn't quite show it just yet.
I think they've had to rely on Vardy from the bench for you, and he got the most goals coming off the bench in the league, Steve. And I think you keep going to the well with a 37-year-old, don't you?
He came on the other night, Matt. He came on the other night and he didn't touch the ball for 17 minutes when he came on.
Yeah,
it was odd. It was weird. But and one more thing, yeah. I want to. No, I'm allowed one more thing as well. You are.
Yeah, that's
I had a discussion about this last night. We haven't got the record for a promoted side. We've equalled the record for a promoted side. We've got the record since the Championship was rebranded in 2004, but Man City still hold it with 89 in 99-2000. Yeah, so we need one more point to get the all-time record.
The Joe Roll team, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the season.
That went to the last day of the season because they won at Blackburn and we played. I think it was Walsall at home, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, in 99-2000, that's the season we went up in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Yeah. Man City went up second, and they came up from what was then League Two or League Three. No, League Two, because the Championship was League One.
Division One, wasn't it? Yeah,
that was when they beat Gillingham with the Nicky Weaver. So when Dickoff got 2 in injury time, if everyone remembers.
And then Man City had Sean Gorter and Nicky Weaver. Then suddenly they were signing £50 million.
Proper Man City team, that main
nobody's broken any rules there, have they?
Yeah.
Cheers, Steve. All the best, my friend. Lots of love in the chat. Big in the chat. Amy, a new YouTube member. Thank you very much, Amy, for hitting that join button. You'll find your Discord server link in the community tab on YouTube. Come and join the conversation over on Discord after the show. Thank you very much.
Discord's carnage now since ITFC Beard appeared.
There you go.
There's tequila being drunk. It's just unbelievable. We're going to have to get on there, Matt, and sort them out.
We're going to have to put our moderator hats on.
You are supposed to be in charge. Yeah, I opened the voice chat up last night. I don't know if it was used or not. I just opened it and left.
You put that? I remember that was when we shit. We used to have that.
We did. There was a voice chat, and I'll try and put the voice chat after every game if that's something.
Get it up. Get the voice chat up. Come on.
We actually had a sensible, I think, Norwich City fan in the chat just not so long ago. GTI, I think he's a Norwich City fan. So City fan here. My hope is Town go up automatically. I mean, you next year via playoffs. I can't imagine me, Town or City fans want to meet in the playoffs. By the way, well done for all your season. That hurt to say.
Yeah, I think he's probably right there about meeting in the playoffs, because I think Norwich probably think maybe over 2 games we might have a little bit too much for them. That might come back to haunt me. But
what's giving him that idea after 15 years and 2 games this year?
It's just
He's been drinking.
It's the law of averages. It's the law of averages.
We said that in February. We said
can't
that
continue. Yeah, but you have to keep saying it, and then you have to keep. He's kept saying about shellacking that guy up there.
We've had a shellacking for Wednesday.
Yeah, just the wrong team.
It's the wrong game.
Just predicted it wrong. You know, that's why he's not a millionaire on the lottery.
I would if we had to play him in the playoffs. I think we'd do all right against them. Absolutely, Kieran. Trust in Kieran. He knows exactly what we need.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. About playing them over 2 games in what is effectively tournament football, not league positions.
Yeah. Lots of conversation about before bringing Steve in, watch alongs as well. Look, guys, girls at home, I'll tell you honestly, I would do a watch along. It's these 2, particularly the one here.
Why me?
Won't do a watch along.
Well, I won't do it because I'll be at the what is that called? What's that called now? Their stadium. It's just it used to be the KCOM.
Yeah,
I don't know what it's called.
University of Hull. I don't know.
No, yeah, it was University of Hull. Coventry's is called the Coventry Building Society Arena or so. I mean, all these grounds now with fucking stupid sponsorship.
I used to like Highfield Road. That was a good stadium.
Yeah. I aged myself there at the Dell, didn't I? I don't know where it came.
The Dell? Oh, you did say the Dell, didn't you?
Is it the Dell, Filbert Street? Not sure.
I'm not quite sure. I totally thought it was in the 90s.
Why is the watch along on my phone? Why is the watch along on my phone?
Was on the wing.
Well, you can't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Muzzy is it? Great players, actually.
You can do watch along
I can't
about
do it on my own, Matt. Can't be a one-man show. I'd flounder. I need you. I need the
I remember we done back in the COVID times. We done a watch along at Hull. This was Matt Gill's finest hour. They were top of the table. We went there and won 1-0. And I think we had Darren Curry and Stuart Slater joining us.
We did.
Yeah.
You get Giddy to end the season.
No, I'm not doing a watch along because it's 2:10, so I need to be sat in a room.
So if you want to watch along, hit the like, leave comments live or afterwards saying do a watch along. Let him know.
Show's not enough for everybody. Is this not enough for everyone?
You'll have people wanting to join you, Gov, surely.
I would, I don't know. I'd do it. I've got nothing to hide when I watch football. I'm cool, calm, and collected, sharpening the guillotine. That's what I'm doing.
It's ITFC Beard's idea. Get him on.
Get him on. Yeah. From the old sushi kitchen.
Yeah, with the beard.
Yeah.
Beard net on.
Yeah, put the salmon down. Put the microphone up. Right, here we go. Steve, welcome in. Let us know your thoughts and feelings this afternoon.
Hi, Steve.
I just want to watch Steve Parry do a watch along. If he's punching cushions and doing this, that, and the other, it'll be like
quite calm, isn't he, Steve? He's quite calm when he comes on.
It'd be like a Royal Rumble crutcher, wouldn't it? It'd be like number 30 in the Royal Rumble. In he comes, away he goes.
Who is it? It's Steve. What music would he have to cut? There you go in the chat. What entrance music would Steve Parry have in the Royal Rumble?
You've got to sort it out, anyhow. It's got to be an intro countdown from 30. Do you know what I mean?
With his accent, it'd have to be Coronation Street.
Oh,
Coronation Street.
There you go. Look, I'd like an unhealthily biased watch along, please.
Oh no, it would be carnage, wouldn't it? Yeah, I just wanted to come in and say, I think I'm putting in the chat. We just need to worry about us. I think we just need to worry about our games. We need to have some steady heads, and I think Kieran will bring that. I think you've got other coaches coming out worrying about fixtures. You've got these people putting pressure on their players, as well as Southampton potentially could go into the mix again, like Cruncher said. They've done it before. They could potentially do it again. Nothing can rule out in this league and these games, as we've seen previously. So I just think that Kieran will just settle us down a little bit. I think we need to be focused on our job. The break has come an absolute brilliant time for us, I think. I think that is going to be a defining moment in this league, is that we can just recoup, we can get our minds as well as our bodies settled and ready to go, and then we just worry about what we're doing. And I think our fans, I love them to bits. They are, we draw a game, oh my God, it's the worst thing ever. But then obviously in the next minute, we're winning games, and that's great. And that's every football fan, I get that. but we just need to make sure we're not putting too much pressure on the players. You know, to a certain degree, they want a little bit of pressure, a little bit of nerves is always good, but I think Kieran will take that away slightly. He's very calm and influence in any interview. I don't know what he's like behind the scenes, but I would imagine he demands a lot. But I think he will just take that element of pressure away a little bit. That's kind of what I wanted to cover, really. But I think we'll get there. We'll do it. I'm positive that we'll do it. I think the next 2 games will be a difficult couple of games. I think the Coventry game, I would say, potentially we're going to get something out of. The whole game, I think, might be a little bit of a banana skin, if I'm brutally honest, with the players that I've got personally.
Good comments there, Steve. Really, you know, McKenna is the man to set us down, Rich. I think Steve sort of nailed it perfectly.
Yeah, I don't think he's one, Steve, to be throwing teacups and shouting and ranting and raving at half time.
Like wingers.
Yeah, I don't think he does that. I think he always after a game, even like win, lose or draw, and you listen to McKenna and he brings it right down on the level, and you think whatever he says, it's just, and he brings it like we've had managers before, not mention any names, Paul Lambert, but they talked absolute rubbish. Whereas Kieran comes out and he will explain things and he'll make you feel a lot better. And even like after yesterday, he said he's not disappointed or anything. He was proud of the players and that. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, you spoke really well there, and you should be. And look, McKenna knows, like the song goes, exactly what we need, and he'll just calm them all down this week. I think Martin Pertz, obviously, I think he's big there, Steve as well, and Gil Martin, and all of them. They've all got their role to play. But yeah, I think I do agree with you that the break has come at a really, really good time.
I think also you just got to be mindful that, you know, like I think you've said before, Cruncher, is that every game it ain't a given. It's not a given in this league. Yeah, you know, you've got people fighting for their championship life. You know, the big guns are going to go to those games, and they're going to have to work hard. You're going to work hard at these games, so that you can see. And you know, Kiefer Moore, for instance, you know, 120 minutes for Wales. You know, goes back in, comes in and plays. He's tired. You can tell it is. You can tell he is. You can tell he's lagging a little bit, and you can tell some of them are. Leif Davis not been very well. I think just that timing and that recoup will do us a world of good. Granted, might get Burns back, but I'm just cautious of obviously an injury. He might not be 100% up to speed. Hurst would be wonderful, but I'm not putting too many monies on that. But do you know what I mean? Just having that time to just recoup, just get our mind straight, think about the job that we've got to do. Don't worry about anybody else. And let's be honest, if we go up and we go up and you want Matt, it's great. But like we said, we were thinking 8th to 10th. So actually anything else is a bonus. And I think we've got to have that mindset as well. Yeah, it's great being in this position. And, you know, given at the start of the season, would you have taken it? Yeah, of course you would have. You would have taken it. You would rip someone's arm off. But we've just got to be mindful and just be a little bit plateaued, a little bit, you know, go there. Yeah, get excited. Get excited in the last game when obviously Southampton have spanked Leeds or whoever. Do you know what I mean? You know, we can get there. But I just think we just need to, you know, get that plateau and let the lads do what they need to do, because they know what they need to do. It doesn't matter what's happening around them. They know they're in this position, and it might not come again for some of them, because some of them might not be at the club. You know, so they know what they've got to do.
Where's Steve been all year? This is great comments.
Content, Steve. This is very sensible content.
Where you been all year?
Well, I mentioned it the other week, Matt, when you said about the bloke that came on before in COVID, and obviously I spoke to Gov before, but yeah, I've obviously with bits and pieces and work and stuff, it's kind of a bit difficult to get in sometimes. But yeah, I'll try and get on more often.
Yes, please do. Absolutely. You and Barry back to back. You could be a great inspirational double
tag team. That could be a tag team in the Rumble, couldn't it?
Absolutely. Oh, he's gone. We've offended him. We've offended him with the tag team suggestion. He's a main event star on his own. It's
interesting what Steve said about McKenna there, because McKenna actually did an interview this week with a friend of mine at the Sun. I think you can read the interview online. And he says the male members of the McKenna family are notorious for having a bad temper. And he does say that he actually has lost it twice in the dressing room. I think it was this season. He said where standards and principles that he has set were not met. I'd love to know what games they were, but yeah, it's interesting he said that because you would not think that from his demeanour or how he talks to the media. Absolutely.
That's with Sun Sport, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a Sun Sport interview in McKenna Online, which I'm about halfway through now, in audio. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, been with my friend Justin. Yeah, he met him this week. Yeah.
Okay. So it might be on an audio version as well. Go and check it out on whatever platform you get your videos from. Probably YouTube, let's be honest. But yeah, Steve, great. Stephen, great. Frank and Phil were at the bottom of the screen but have gone. So perhaps Steve and Steve have said what they came to say. Don't know. Shame not to have Phil and Frank on, who were also on the Match Reaction show. So if you do want to hear their views, you can hear their views from yesterday live directly outside Portman Road.
It's good to meet Frank and Rung, wasn't it?
There you go. We've got a tag team name. The Sensible Steves. The SS team. Sensible Steves.
Yeah, I like that. It's good.
This is it. Let's get some music. Let's get some music for him. I've had a really great show, actually. I've really enjoyed it.
Well, it should be a good one. They're on top of the league for one thing.
Blown by nearly an hour and a half we've done. That's just bloody.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We've given the club some ideas for player of the season next year, how they do that. It's been very productive. Very productive.
Tom James says, enjoy the next frantic fortnight all. Come on, you Blues. It's going to get
Kieran's
messy.
obviously at the EFL Awards tonight, hopefully picking up the
it's got to
the
be
Manager of the Year. And I've heard a little whisper that Wes Burns will be winning Goal of the Season as well.
As it should be.
As it should be.
And if you go by Instagram, Luke Wolfender's off to Mallorca with the family.
Yeah, Wolfie's there. I hope there's not any gusts of wind down there, Wolfie, to blow you over on the beach.
Well, it makes sense now, doesn't it, yesterday? Because obviously he's practicing these little dives into the pool. Just
going in Magaluf.
A day early.
Going Magaluf. Where his town stopped. Where his town stopped.
I think they'll have a bit of downtime. They're not going to go out on the lash this lot. They're going to probably have a 2 or 3 day break, and then they'll be back in. They'll be doing little bits and pieces, won't they? And Kieran will be working on, I think, just them fine details, Matt. You know, just to go into these final 3 games. Look, it's going to be nervy. I think it's going to be nervy for the fans. If you go into games or you're watching on telly or you're listening on the radio. But we're in a great position. You know, we are in a great position. We are probably just about, well, I'd say Leicester are probably still favourites because they've got that game in hand. Because I think, but then we've got points on the board. Yeah, I see that this morning. We're linked with Harwood Bellis. If we go up, he would be a good signing. But yeah, look, we just got to stay just level, haven't we, and calm and.
But at the same point, yeah, I agree. But at the same time, you've got to enjoy it because there's no guarantee that this happens. You know, say we do stay down. There's no guarantee this happens again next season. Look at Coventry.
Look at Borough.
Penalty, yes. Coventry were penalty kicks away from getting to the Premier League last season. Now they're not going to probably be in the playoffs. So
could be in the FA Cup final though. Coventry.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, but you'd trade that for a playoff final.
But just enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? Enjoy it. That's why I just felt it was a bit strange yesterday. It was so flat when we have gone top. But there we go. People's expectations here, isn't it?
Because it was bizarre. You wanted to be happy, but equally you knew heading into the game because of Leeds' defeat, falling apart again, bless them, that a win would put you one step.
Yeah, it'd have been 4 points, wouldn't it? And you'd have been not there. But
do you know what I mean? Drink it in. This could be the last 3 games league games that we see Kieran McKenna at Ipswich, for example. I mean,
well,
who knows what's around the corner? You just don't know, do you? So just enjoy the moment, like Rich says. Enjoy. It's going to be nervous, but enjoy it at the same time because this club has been on its arse for 20 years. This is far more exciting than being mid-table in League One under Paul Lambert. Let me bloody tell you.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike says, how many points do you think we'll need? We'll answer that question next week, Mike. So do ask it next week. Stephen Parry says refocus time. And it is refocus time. But thank you for focusing your attention on us for an hour and a half. We really do appreciate it. Thank you for watching, listening, commenting, sharing to your friends, your family, even those that you don't like. Particularly if those that you don't like. If you don't rate us, you want to put them our way. You will do, won't you? Let's be honest. But yeah, I had a great show.
Comment for the watch along. Comment for the watch along for Gov. We want to see loads of comments in the YouTube.
I'd do one. I've often said in the WhatsApp group, should we do a watch along? And I've been met with.
We only done watch alongs when we were dross.
Yeah, now we're good. Oh, Mark Goldbridge moments, Matt. Come on, we can get Matt viral like Goldbridge.
Pushing that chair over. I can't do it anymore.
He's not thought of the logistics of this because Martin, you're streaming on Sky Go. If it's on Sky, you're going to be about 2 minutes behind me because it'll be on TV. No, it's not happening.
You
So,
start at the
there
same
you go.
time, Matt.
Well, you can have a timer on the screen. You can have a timer on the screen like Goldbridge does. Email
At
him.
the same time, turn off your notifications.
I'd have to ask George Nunn because he's the design technical wizard.
He's not really thought about this, has he?
This is what I'm saying. He's not thought it through.
I've got time.
I'm going to have a Discord. I'm not going to go on it. It's not thought it through.
That's
You
not.
two have to
Hey,
police it.
that's for the community members to go and have their Saturday club in their own way. That's not for me to mither. Because if I'm on there, I will mither.
Gav will be on there. Gav will be on there on Saturday the 4th of May when we've got promoted. He will be on there.
Oh, he'll take our moderation hats off.
What are you doing? What are you doing if we get promoted, Matt? Are you staying in town that day or
Don't know.
what are you going to do?
Don't know. Not thought about it yet. Don't know. Have a little thing.
I fully expect to stay in town.
I mean, it's you don't want to think about it.
To the curveball.
No,
Look at him go.
Get your shirt on, please. Get your shirt on, please. But you
Wait till you
don't
see me the old Crown Hill, mate, or the Corn Hill, rather. You wait till you see me up that lamppost. I'll be there. Freddie, do your best work, son.
Ready?
Come on.
Yeah. Go stuck up a lamppost. Can we get him down? I can't get down.
Get the fire brigade out.
We can't think about it yet, but your mind does sort of run away with you and think we're only 3 games, aren't we?
Yeah.
3. Where's the season gone? I mean, it's just race by.
Time flies when you're having fun. This is why you got to drink it in.
It's what happens when you do content around it. Because all you do is focus on the next show, the next show, the next show, the next show. And before you know it, I'm putting up match previews for game 43, and I'm thinking
it's going to be a long 2 weeks, though, isn't it? Now, because no game next week. It's going to be a long 2 weeks, I think.
I'm going to love it. I'm going to love it.
Waiting for that game at Hull.
Beat up, disengage.
His mouth should be better by the next time there's a game as well.
I wouldn't put on it. I need a root canal one above as well.
When you was reading Arthur's comments earlier, you weren't going to get through this show. Look, you've done 90 minutes. It's a fair play.
Yeah, my mouth's starting to hurt now. But it's been well worth it. So thank you for watching. He has been the man from Del Monte, top of the league, Matthew Phillips. Vaz-tastic, says Richard Moss. For
what
the
a keeper.
Today. Yeah, sign him up now. I've been the Gov. You've been wonderful. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. And we'll see you on this, well, not this time, but we'll see you 1:30 next Sunday for our prediction show. How many points Town need and all of that wonderful jazz. I'm off to crunch the numbers with Phil Blundell. I'll speak to you soon.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down or when I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. I woke up all soaked in sweat, weird chills running down my neck. I thought went crazy from just the thought of you. A long blonde hair.